Hi everyone, so I'm back with another video, but this one pertains to week 10 of The Artist Way. Now, I'm recording this video on Wednesday evening because I still had the momentum. And one of the things that I promised myself that I would do is if my body feels a certain way and it wants to do something, I will respect that. So here I am. I'm still working through the last couple of days of week 10, but I wanted to record this now because there was a lot that I wanted to share. So, when this week started, I didn't feel up to doing any of the activities of this in this chapter. I was leaning more towards doing my own projects, doing my own creative projects, and not this that we've been doing weekly in terms of the course. But I kind of had a quiet moment today, and I opened up the book again, and I started just to do a little bit more of the activities. There aren't very many there, but they are very detailed for what is presented. And one of the things that I appreciated was we had to answer the awful truth about ourselves. What do we allow um, to be blocks into our lives? Like, is it people? Is it toxic people? Is it toxic behaviors, even? One of the things I noticed about my brain is that whenever it's learning something new, and I find a tutorial, so I gain the information. After I gain the information, my brain wants to move on to the next thing instead of practicing what I had researched. So I have a habit of over researching things, or maybe not practicing what I researched enough. So I spent some time, a couple of hours with my video editing software, just practicing what I learned from the tutorial just to help me out a bit. So I'm trying to do that. I'm trying not to scroll on social media too much. I'm trying to put a lid on that, even though my accounts are, dormant and not being, used. You can, for some sites, you can still visit those without having to log into an account. So I'm being careful there. And one of the other things that was very helpful was actually writing down some of the activities that don't bring me joy. And even if they don't bring me joy, is there a way that I could turn them into playful activities? Can I make them more joyful? Like, for example, my weekly chore every week is cleaning the bathroom. I don't look forward to that. And I decided, okay, well, how can I make it more playful? Well, I can turn on some music whenever I do chores, right? So that's going to take some getting used to, even though I love listening to music. I've never had the habit of putting on music while I did chores. Um, so that's going to be just a new thing. I've also wrote down, how my body responds to goal setting. Now, this was really interesting. I think I'm becoming more in tune with what I'm feeling or how my body reacts to certain decisions and planning and goal setting. So, for example, when I reflected on this, um, I used to do voiceover as a hobby, and it felt very exciting at first. Like, every new thing, everything that you start is exciting at first. But then I started to lose interest. And I said, okay, well, maybe this isn't for me to do. And it really wasn't at the end. I realized that at the very end of the whole process. Trying things out and seeing what works for you and what brings you joy. And there was this point where it didn't bring me joy anymore, so I stopped doing the hobby. But then there are other things in my life that bring me the most joy, but they haven't left me. They're very consistent in their presence. So, for example, writing is a very consistent thing. I may have had to take a few breaks here and there, but it's the one thing that I've always come back to. And this is how I'm learning to follow my intuition and understanding what I'm feeling in that moment, and things that are just a bit of a spark are worth exploring. And if they fade after a while, then it's just something that I had to explore for a while. And it wasn't a long term hobby or activity. So that was really, really eye opening for me, and getting to know myself and my body responses in that way. And it's being a good guide as to which direction I have to go next. But writing has always been the consistent thing, and I think video recording, as it stands now, is going to be a long-term thing because it's something that I really enjoy doing. And when I sat down and I reflected, and as I was quiet, I also realized that I used to play around a lot in Windows Video Maker. So if you guys remember that old video software, editing software program back in the early 2000s, I used to play around with that a lot. And I used to, just for the fun of it, I never really uploaded on YouTube, but I used to create anime music videos. So I remember, playing around with that. So things are come full circle. I later went to college that had a video editing course, so this everything was for a reason. It was like a little bit of a stepping stone throughout the course of my life, but I never really realized it that way. So I thought that was just very interesting this week. But again, I'm here early just because there was just things I wanted to share about this week so far, and this book is, it's not something that can be rated out of 10, or your regular rating scale whenever you do a review of something. I really can't do that with this book because it's going to be dependent on the person that is doing the program, and the results are going to be different for each person, right? So this is a book that I cannot review as I get towards the end of it, but I can at least say that you're going to get what you put into it, right? You're going to get out what you put in, and it's up to you of how much you want to put into this Artist Way program and what kind of help you need with that. Do you need a group to help you be accountable, for things week by week? It is up to you. But one thing is for sure, the Artist Way has really helped me to see that there is time. There is time to do things that we really, really want to do. And even if it's just a small pocket of time, it is time available. Like right now, right? Like right now, I know that as my body starts to slow down, it may need to take a little bit of a break. So it's good that I'm here now recording this video, for example. And just really realizing that whenever the energy slows down, it's time for a break. It doesn't mean that I'm never going to get back into things, right? We all need a break here and there, but yeah, the Artist Way has really, really helped to see my potential, what I'm capable of doing, and doing things without a lot of fear and a lot of judgment surrounding that. Like, there is no reason why we shouldn't pursue certain hobbies, right? And I think this is what this program is all about, reconnecting. I reconnected with some board games from childhood that I missed out on. As a kid, you're seeing the TV commercials for these board games, but there are companies out there that are bringing the classic board games over to consoles and video games, and I'm reconnecting in that way, and that's really cool. Some video games, or some board games I should say, have helped me get back in touch with my mom, for example, because there were things about her that I just didn't know what she loved to do. She loved to play the game Clue, so there we go. And I apologize for the background noise. My neighbor's kids are out there. But there we go. So regardless of what you want to do, there is always, always time. There are always going to be blocks in our lives. We got to acknowledge them. And we got to acknowledge our own behaviors. What is helpful to us, what is toxic to us, and how can we change that? How can we turn that around? So I think the Artist Way has helped me to gain some momentum, some perspective, and most importantly, a better sense of self. So this is it for me, guys. Have a good rest of your week. By the time you're watching this, I'm going to be posting this on Friday, or scheduling it to be posted on Friday. It's Wednesday right now. But thank you for tuning in and for your support. Bye bye.